Coming up this morning on Action News, officials release new details on the three-vehicle versus pedestrian crash in Toppenish. It happened earlier this week, and two of the vehicles fled the scene. One driver did stick around. It's unclear if they'll face charges, though. We'll tell you what vehicles the police are now looking for. Plus, the state auditor's office investigating fraud by the former finance manager at a local county fire department. They say over $100,000 of mismanaged funds were found between 2011 and 2023. The report initiated after the fire department called the state. We'll have that story and more coming up as you start your day with us right here on Action News. Good Friday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And Jefferson, it's a little bit of a damp, wet morning this morning. We definitely have some of those sprinkles and misty conditions. At least I noticed some on the way in. I know we were worried about any of the frozen precipitation. Is that something that's still on docket or in the docket in cards?
Well, I would say not necessarily from yesterday. We did see plenty of freezing rain and snow, especially in parts of Oregon. Now, today we are going to see a resurgence of precipitation that is going to bring wintry precipitation concerns to the Yakima and Kittitas valleys, where we could be looking at snow, freezing rain before we do see a transition to rainfall tomorrow. So yesterday's bulk of the story, or at least yesterday's biggest fear, was through Umatilla and Morrow counties. Today's biggest concern into early tomorrow morning will be through the Yakima and Kittitas valleys. And of course, we will talk all about that as we go later into the newscast. But right now, looking out at the Tri-Cities, there is some light rainfall right now, but we are going to see more robust precipitation by the time we do get to the late afternoon hours today. Right now in the Tri-Cities, we are sitting at 34 degrees. So here's a look at your weather headlines today and going forward. Again, wintry precipitation and rain all going to be possible today, depending on where you live. A drying trend will start on Saturday, and most of us are going to be dry from Saturday afternoon through Sunday, but then additional precipitation is going to arrive for Monday. We'll talk more about all three of these weather headlines coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Yakima County. We now know the identity of the person hit by three vehicles on State Route 22 near Toppenish. Washington State troopers say 53-year-old James Kamaha from Hera was walking on State Route 22 west of Casey Road when he was hit by the vehicles. They say he died at the scene. Two of the vehicles fled while one driver did stop. Troopers do have a safety message for pedestrians.
While it's not illegal to walk along the state route, you do have to walk in the opposite direction of traffic. If you are walking out there, I'd highly recommend either a fluorescent vest, being able to know that there are going to be distracted drivers out there, so keep your head on a swivel for people that may not be looking for pedestrian traffic in that area.
Now, investigators are still looking for witnesses. They're looking for a 2018 or a 2019 Subaru Legacy and a four-door red pickup truck with two white box trucks, which were in the area at the time. If you witnessed the accident or know anything about it, you're asked to contact the Washington State Patrol. An Ellensburg man is facing vehicular assault charges after police say he told them he purposefully crashed into another vehicle while going nearly 100 miles an hour. The crash happened at around 6 a.m. this past Saturday at the intersection of University Way and Water Street. When police arrived, they found Casey Dunn outside of his vehicle with no injuries. However, the other driver was trapped in his vehicle. He was taken to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle to be treated for a lacerated kidney. Police say Dunn told them he was trying to go 300 miles an hour because, quote, 300 divided by 100 is 3. The Holy Trinity exists in me. Now, Dunn met with a mental health professional on Monday and then appeared in court on Wednesday. His bail was set at $50,000. Several businesses in downtown Yakima are having to replace windows after several acts of vandalism. Even the Yakima Police Department was targeted. Olive Garden, Cowiche Canyon, Chase Bank, and the post office were all damaged. Because of this, there's limited access to the police department, and the municipal court will stay open, but other areas, including the YPD services window, will be closed until further notice. Only those with scheduled appointments with the City of Yakima Legal Department or the YPD will be allowed in. All other local business in the area are still open and operating as usual. And a new scam alert that's coming in the form of a text message about packages. The Benton County Sheriff's Office posted about this scam, but it's popping up all across the country. The scammer will send you a text with your correct address saying you need to verify your identity another way before your package can be delivered. They then get you to reveal some personal information about yourself. It's something the shipping services will never do. If your carrier allows, report these texts as spam. And the results of a state investigation into fraud by the former finance manager at Benton County Fire District 4 is out. In the report by the Washington State Auditor's Office, investigators identified nearly $117,000 worth of transactions made between April 2011 and December 2023, which they say were either misappropriated or questionable by former finance manager Silta Superawesome. Leaders with the Auditor's Office say the fire district contacted them in October of 2023 to look into the issue.
The district brought to us a small amount of question costs that they had determined that they called it misappropriation. And we, in conducting our audit, took a look at what they had and confirmed that that was accurate. And then we expanded our work into more areas.
Now, the investigation also found the fire district had no oversight measures in place to monitor the finance manager's activities. The report has been forwarded to the Benton County Prosecutor's Office to determine if charges could be filed against Superawesome. And in response, the fire department released a statement on the audit saying the employee accused of the fraud was immediately put on leave once the missing money was discovered and no longer works there. Fire Chief Paul Carlisle added, quote, "We worked with the state auditor's office to put more security systems in place to prevent this in the future. These improvements include expanding financial oversight with new policies, increased internal checks and balances, new HR management, new and ongoing training for leadership, and tighter parameters for organizational practices such as purchasing and onboarding employees." Now, fire district leaders also say they're looking into legal action. At Tuesday's Mapton City Council meeting, residents raised concerns about the lack of police presence as the council delayed approving the 2025 budget. Tensions ran high, with some calling for Mayor Rachel Roulas's resignation over ongoing issues. The council only received the proposed budget a day before the meeting and needed more time to review it. The mayor is already facing a recall petition. To address the police staffing crisis, the council approved hiring interim police chief Esteban Araguz after Mapton's last officer left earlier this week. For now, the Yakima County Sheriff's Office is only responding to life-threatening emergencies. The mayor is also facing criticism for not finalizing the 2024 budget, which was approved late last month, raising legal concerns. With no 2025 budget yet approved, the council may hold a special meeting to address these issues before the year ends. The cost of Washington's carbon credits is rising significantly following the latest auction price last week. Coming in at $40.26 per metric ton of carbon dioxide, Washington's carbon credits are up nearly 35% from last auction. Leaders with the Association of Washington Business tell us with the Climate Commitment Act no longer on the chopping block, consumers could see a repeat of yesteryear.
Flaws of the program that we saw in 2023 that had that big spike in credit prices, followed by a big price in petroleum fuel prices, and then a big spike in natural gas prices, is going to continue. And it's only going to get worse. The program currently reduces about 7% per year between now and 2030, excuse me. So that's more than double what California's reduction curve is.
Now, AWB claims if changes are made by the legislature to adopt California's model of carbon reduction, Washingtonians could see relief for energy prices. A Pasco City councilman is trying to help the city run more efficiently. Councilman Leo Perales is working to create a committee called DOPE, which stands for the Department of Pasco Efficiency. Perales says while it's still just a concept right now, he hopes it will streamline certain processes within the city, like permitting, and also include audits to ensure the proper allocation of funds.
We need to do something because we lost Costco, we have lost other entities that want to come here, Target. We need to start doing more economic development planning, cutting back regulations to entice companies, manufacturing groups to come here to Pasco.
So far, it's unclear who would sit on the board, but Perales says it would likely be council members and other community stakeholders. Perales says he hopes to continue working on DOPE when the city council reconvenes after the holidays. And finally, a grand opening for Ben Franklin Transit's new operations building. It's on Columbia Park Trail near the State Route 240 interchange. About 250 transit employees will use the building, giving them the necessary space for their jobs. The project cost nearly $11.5 million and was mostly finished by mid-August. Now, Jefferson, let's jump right over to weather here because it's a bit damp outside. We have those cloud coverage. So kind of what's in store for the day today?
Some light precipitation this morning, but we are going to see more robust precipitation as we do go later into the day. Really by the mid to late afternoon hours, we will see our next weather maker take aim at our forecast area, and that is going to bring some rain and snow mix and maybe even some light freezing rain. Around the region today, we are going to primarily be in the 40s for the Columbia Basin out towards Walla Walla and Pendleton, but for the Yakima and Kittitas valleys, temperatures will reside in the 30s. We'll break down what is a busy next couple of days of weather coming up.